In the heart of the dense, ancient forests of Blackwood, a sinister secret lay hidden beneath the silver light of the moon. The villagers of Blackwood had long held their breaths as autumn descended, for it was during these eerie nights that the curse of the werewolves would awaken. Legend whispered of a time when Blackwood was a thriving community, known for its lush landscapes and bountiful harvests. However, their prosperity had come at a steep price. The village was cursed by a vengeful witch who had been wronged by the townsfolk generations ago. She had cast a malevolent spell that would transform one unlucky soul into a monstrous beast during each full moon. The curse had been dormant for years, but now, as the harvest season approached, the villagers felt the eerie change in the air. The days grew shorter, the nights colder, and the forest, once inviting, now felt menacing. Among the villagers, a young woman named Elara was especially apprehensive. She had heard tales of the werewolves from her grandmother, who had survived a terrifying encounter with the creature in her youth. As the full moon approached, Elara's dread deepened. She couldn't shake the feeling that this would be the month when the curse was rekindled. With each passing day, the villagers became more cautious. Doors were locked and barred, and the children were warned not to venture into the woods after dark. The night of the full moon finally arrived. A thick silver fog enveloped Blackwood, casting eerie shadows upon the village. Elara watched from her window as the moon rose, a ghastly orb in the sky. It was then that she heard the first chilling howl, a sound that sent shivers down her spine. The villagers huddled together in the village square, clutching torches and weapons. Fear and uncertainty hung heavy in the air as they waited for the first sign of the werewolf's presence. The minutes ticked by like hours, and then it happened. A blood-curdling scream pierced the night, and the villagers turned in horror to see Old Man Darrow, a well-respected elder, convulsing on the ground. His body contorted and grew larger, his skin sprouting fur as his bones cracked and reshaped. In a matter of moments, he had transformed into a nightmarish beast, a werewolf. Panic erupted among the villagers as they realized that the curse had returned. They raised their torches and weapons, but the werewolf, with feral eyes and razor-sharp claws, was a formidable foe. It lunged at them, slashing and biting, and chaos ensued. Amid the chaos, Elara spotted her grandmother, her face etched with terror. She rushed to her side, helping her to her feet. Together, they backed away from the frenzied battle, seeking refuge in the nearby forest. They knew the werewolf wouldn't harm them. The curse only sought to transform one person each full moon. As they ventured deeper into the forest, they heard more howls and screams from the village. Elara's heart ached for her friends and family, but there was nothing they could do but wait for morning when the curse would subside. Hours passed, and the moon began its descent. The forest was cloaked in an eerie silence. Elara and her grandmother huddled together, their fear slowly giving way to exhaustion. They dared not venture back to the village until they were certain the werewolf had returned to its human form. Just as the first light of dawn broke through the trees, they cautiously made their way back to Blackwood. The village, once full of life, now lay in ruins. Houses were torn apart, and the ground was littered with debris and bloodstains. The villagers who had survived were tending to the wounded, their faces pale and haunted. Elara and her grandmother were among the lucky ones, for they had escaped the wrath of the werewolf. But the curse had taken its toll on Blackwood, and the once thriving community was now a shadow of its former self. In the days that followed, the villagers held a somber ceremony to mourn their losses and to remember those who had been transformed by the curse. They vowed to find a way to break the witch's spell and rid their village of the werewolf's curse once and for all. As the seasons changed, Blackwood began to heal, but the memory of that fateful night lingered like a ghost. Elara, now a young woman, dedicated herself to unraveling the secrets of the curse. She studied ancient texts, consulted wise sages, and even delved into the forbidden arts of magic. Years passed, and Elara's efforts paid off. she uncovered a hidden ritual, a way to confront the witch's spirit and break the curse. With the help of the surviving villagers, they performed the ritual on the night of the full moon. As the moon reached its zenith, the villagers chanted the incantation, and a spectral figure materialized before them, the vengeful witch who had cast the curse centuries ago. With resolve in her heart, Elara confronted the spirit, pleading for the curse to be lifted. The witch, her anger and bitterness palpable, considered Elara's words. After a long, tense moment, she relented. The curse was broken, and the forest fell silent. Blackwood was free from the curse of the werewolves at last. The villagers, once divided by fear, came together to rebuild their lives. Elara had faced the horrors of the past and emerged victorious, a beacon of hope for her people. But even as the village flourished once more, the memory of that fateful night lingered in the hearts of the villagers. They knew that darkness could always return, lurking in the shadows, waiting for the next full moon to cast its malevolent spell. And so they remained vigilant, knowing that the curse of the werewolves might never truly be vanquished, only held at bay by their collective strength and the courage of those like Elara, who dared to face the monsters that haunted their past.